In this video, we're going to show you a new and exciting way to do deployments to Kubernetes clusters through not only Octopus Deploy, but tools like GitHub Copilot. So this is Octopus Deploy. This is the dashboard. You can see inside here, we have a number of projects. Over here, we have GitHub Copilot installed inside of Visual Studio Code. And you can see I've installed the Octopus Deploy GitHub Copilot extension. So let's first set the space to my project name, which is DevX. When I do that, it will provide a context from which I can actually invoke commands. So the first command I want to do is show the dashboard. The dashboard is the dashboard you saw earlier inside of Octopus Deploy, except in this case, it's through a textual format based in Markdown through the AI extension that we have called Octopus AI App. You can see we have a bunch of projects here, and we have a deployment that's been issued 6 minutes ago for the project called Web App. Let's go ahead and create a release. So this is how we actually do a deployment in Octopus Deploy. We first create a release, which is like a snapshot, and we'll do this for the project entitled Web App. And we're going to go ahead and deploy this to the environment called development. So we can see we have three environments: development, staging, and production. And let's go ahead and issue this command here. And when I do this, it will return with a couple of links that I can use to track the progress of the deployment itself. So I'll accept the auto incremented version, and there are the links there. And if we scroll back here, you'll notice that our dashboard is now reflecting the fact that we have a deployment in process. So Octopus Deploy allows you to define a project, and inside that project, you'll define a deployment process. That deployment process will then kickstart the deployment. In this case, we're doing that deployment to EKS, and that is issuing a bunch of commands to our Kubernetes cluster for issuing a new container, etc., setting up a new instance. You can see we have a EKS cluster here, etc. And so this is basically a new way in which we can actually do deployments through a tool like Octopus Deploy and or GitHub Copilot through Visual Studio Code. Really, really powerful, because what it allows you to do as a developer is stay in your flow. It allows you to stay in an environment that you know and love and issue deployments very quickly and easily through this integration. So this will take a second or two to do the deployment, but when this is complete, we should have a new version of our application hosted inside of EKS. And we'll be right back to take a look at that. All right, so our deployment is now done. We have our instance now running the latest version, which is 0.0.19. That is in the development environment, which is awesome. So now what we can do is we can now promote this version to, say, other environments. And I can do that through Octopus Deploy, but because I'm a developer, I like to stay in my flow, and I'll stay inside of Visual Studio Code to do that. But first, let me go ahead and take a look at the project dashboard for the project that I just did a deployment for, which is Web App. So this is a different view, but specifically for the project Web App, I'll be able to see my environments, what versions they are, etc., and then go ahead and do any sort of commands that I want to perform against this. So you can see I have version 0.0.19 that was deployed about 2 minutes ago, and it is available inside of development. You can see other versions that I've done deployments to, etc. So let's now do a new release. So we're going to say deploy release, and we'll issue that release that we just created of the project Web App. And we'll do this to the staging environment. So the environment called staging. And now that we've done that, it will go ahead and then prompt you to say, do I accept this change? And I'll say yes. And so now what we're doing is we're promoting essentially this version from development to staging. And I'm provided a link to take a look at that if I want. Because I'm inside of my browser, I'll just scroll over and see there's our deployment now being done directly through Octopus Deploy. So again, I can stay inside of my environment of choice, which in this case is Visual Studio Code, which is awesome. And I can do deployments directly through GitHub Copilot. If you want to find out more, you can go visit the GitHub Copilot page up on the marketplace there. So we'll go ahead and just do a search for Octopus Deploy. And when you do that, you'll find there's our Copilot extension, which you can now download and install inside of Visual Studio Code. Happy deployments.